Think you've lost your charm just because you've got a few more years under your belt? Well, listen up. What if I told you that the very things you're worried about could be your secret weapons in the dating game? You're about to discover 6 surprising signs that prove you're more attractive than you realize, especially to younger women. You see, attractiveness in older men isn't just about looks or money. It's about the subtle qualities that come with age and experience. Qualities that younger women find irresistible, even if you don't see them yourself. These signs are hiding in plain sight, my friend. They're the little things you do, the way you carry yourself, the wisdom in your eyes. And here's the kicker. Younger women have probably already noticed these things about you. You just haven't caught on yet. So get ready. What you're about to learn might just change the way you see yourself in the dating world. It's time to uncover the invisible charm you possess. Picture this. You're at a trendy bar, surrounded by younger faces. The music's pulsing, conversations are flowing, and there you are, feeling a bit out of place. You catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror behind the bar and wonder, do I still have what it takes? Well, my friend, I'm here to tell you that you absolutely do. In fact, you might be wielding one of the most powerful tools of attraction without even realizing it. It's all in your eyes. Let's talk about the first sign that you're more attractive than you think: the power of your gaze. Now, I'm not talking about staring creepily across the room. I'm talking about the kind of eye contact that makes a connection, that speaks volumes without saying a word. You see, when you lock eyes with someone, something magical happens. It's not just in your head, it's science. That moment of connection triggers a release of dopamine in the brain. It's like a little burst of pleasure, a spark of excitement. And guess what? You're the one causing it. Think back to your last interaction with a younger woman. Did you notice her pupils dilate slightly when you looked at her? Did she hold your gaze for just a moment longer than necessary? These are signs that your gaze is having an effect, my friend. She's responding to the power of your eyes, even if you didn't realize it. But here's the thing. It's not just about looking, it's about seeing. When you make eye contact, you're showing that you're present, that you're engaged. You're saying, I see you, and I'm interested in what you have to say. That kind of attention is intoxicating, especially in a world where everyone's eyes are glued to their phones. Now, I know what you're thinking, but what if I come off as creepy? Don't worry, I've got you covered. The key is to make it natural, not forced. Start by holding eye contact for just a second or two longer than you normally would. Then, pair it with a subtle smile. Not a big, cheesy grin, just a slight upturn of the lips. It's warm, it's inviting, and it's incredibly attractive. Practice this in your daily life, when you're ordering coffee, when you're chatting with a colleague, when you're out with friends. Make it a habit to really look at people when you're talking to them. You'll be amazed at how it changes your interactions. By the way, I have more videos like this in store for you. Hit subscribe so you won't miss out. Here's the real kicker. Mastering this skill doesn't just make you more attractive to others. It changes how you feel about yourself. There's a quiet confidence that comes from knowing you can connect with anyone, anywhere. It's the kind of presence that turns heads when you walk into a room. Remember that bar scenario we started with? Imagine walking in there now, making eye contact with the bartender as you order your drink, sharing a knowing glance with the woman a few seats down. Suddenly, you're not out of place anymore. You're magnetic. So next time you're feeling less than confident, remember the power of your gaze. It's a sign of your attractiveness that's been there all along, hiding in plain sight. Use it wisely and watch as the world responds to you in a whole new way. But first, take a look at the next signs. You really need to know them. You know those moments when you're out and about, maybe at a coffee shop or a bookstore, and you catch someone looking at you? It's fleeting, just a split second, but there's something there, a spark of something. But before you can really process it, they've looked away, and you're left wondering if you imagined the whole thing. Well, my friend, I'm here to tell you that you didn't imagine it. In fact, you might have just witnessed one of the most telling signs of attraction, especially when it comes to younger women. It's all in the eyebrows. Yes, you heard that right. The eyebrows, specifically when a woman raises her eyebrows upon seeing you. It's the second sign that you're more attractive than you think, and it's one that most men completely miss. Now, I know what you're thinking. Come on, raised eyebrows. That could mean anything. And you're right, it could. But in the context of attraction, it's a powerful indicator of interest. You see, when we're pleasantly surprised or intrigued by something or someone, our eyebrows naturally lift. It's an involuntary response, a little tell that gives away our true feelings. Think about it. When was the last time you noticed a woman's eyebrows lift when she saw you? Maybe it was at the grocery store or when you walked into a meeting at work. It might have been so quick you barely registered it. But that little movement speaks volumes. It's saying, "Oh, hello there, you've caught my attention." It's a sign of curiosity, of interest. It means that something about you, your confidence, your presence, the way you carry yourself, has piqued her interest. And the best part? It's completely genuine. You can't fake an involuntary eyebrow raise. But here's the real kicker. This sign isn't just about how others see you. It's about how you see yourself. When you start noticing these subtle cues of interest, it changes your entire perspective. Suddenly, you're not the guy who's past his prime or out of the game. You're the man who turns heads, who sparks curiosity. So how do you spot this sign in real life? It's all about being present and observant. The next time you're out, pay attention to the women around you. When you make eye contact, watch for that quick lift of the eyebrows. It might be accompanied by a slight widening of the eyes or a hint of a smile. These are all good signs. But remember, it's not about staring or making anyone uncomfortable. It's about being aware, being present in the moment. And when you do catch that eyebrow raise, take it as the compliment it is. Let it boost your confidence. Understanding this silent language of interest can be a game changer in social settings. Suddenly, you're not just hoping for signs of interest. You know what to look for. You can read the room, gauge interest, and approach with confidence. And confidence, my friend, is incredibly attractive at any age. But here's a word of caution. Don't get so caught up in looking for signs that you forget to be yourself. The most attractive thing you can be is authentic. These signs of interest, they're responses to the real you, not some version of yourself you think others want to see. So the next time you're out, keep your eyes open, not just for those raised eyebrows, but for all the subtle ways people might be showing interest. You might be surprised at how often it happens, and more importantly, you might be surprised at how it makes you feel. Regarding the next sign, it is something you will need to keep sharp forever, and you are exactly at the right place here with me to do so. Now let's talk about something that might surprise you. We've all heard the saying, age is just a number, right? Well, when it comes to attraction, there's a lot more truth to that than you might think. Because the next sign that you're more attractive than you realize has nothing to do with your physical appearance. It's all about what's going on up here. You see, one of the most powerful attractors, especially to younger women, is something called a growth mindset. Now, I know what you're thinking. A growth mindset? What's that got to do with attraction? Well, my friend, it has everything to do with it. A growth mindset is all about believing that you can develop and improve yourself over time. It's about seeing challenges as opportunities, not obstacles. It's about embracing learning and personal growth no matter your age. And let me tell you, that kind of attitude is magnetic. Think about it. When was the last time you tried something new, picked up a new hobby, learned a new skill, or even just read a book on a topic you knew nothing about? If you're doing these things, you're already showing signs of a growth mindset. And trust me, younger women are noticing. You see, a man who's constantly learning and growing is exciting to be around. You're not stuck in your ways or set in your opinions. You're open to new experiences, new ideas. You bring fresh perspectives to conversations. And that, my friend, is incredibly attractive. But here's the kicker. You might already be showing signs of this without even realizing it. Has a younger woman ever complimented you on your openness to new ideas, or seemed impressed when you talked about a new skill you're learning? That's her appreciating your growth mindset. Now, let me give you some examples of how this plays out in real life. Maybe you're at a social gathering, and instead of sticking to topics you know well, you engage in discussions about new technologies or current events, even if you're still learning about them. That shows curiosity and a willingness to learn. Or perhaps you're on a date, and instead of trying to impress with stories of past achievements, you talk about your current goals and what you're working towards. That demonstrates that you're still evolving, still striving to be better. And let me tell you, that's far more interesting than someone who's content to rest on their laurels. Even in your day-to-day life, embracing a growth mindset can make you more attractive. When faced with a challenge at work, instead of getting frustrated, you see it as an opportunity to problem solve and improve. When you encounter a new piece of technology, instead of dismissing it as not for you, you take the time to learn how it works. These might seem like small things, but they add up to create an image of a man who's vibrant, engaged with life, and constantly evolving. And that, my friend, is incredibly appealing, especially to younger women who are also in phases of growth and change in their lives. But here's the best part. Embracing this mindset doesn't just make you more attractive to others. It enriches your own life experiences. When you approach life with curiosity and openness, every day becomes an opportunity for growth and discovery. You're not just going through the motions, you're actively engaging with the world around you. Openness is also important for another reason, but we'll get to that later. Think about how this changes your outlook. Instead of feeling like your best days are behind you, you're excited about what's to come. Instead of being intimidated by change, you welcome it as a chance to learn and adapt. This kind of positive energy is contagious, and it draws people to you. An attractive older man radiates the essence of continual growth and self-improvement, which captivates those around him. This isn't just about being attractive in the dating world. It's about being a compelling figure in all aspects of your life, in your career, in your social circles, in your community. To be able to excel at this, you definitely need the next trait too. Picture this. You're at a trendy rooftop bar, surrounded by a sea of younger faces. The music's thumping, conversations are buzzing, and there you are, feeling like a relic from another era. You glance around, wondering if you have anything of value to offer in this youthful crowd. But hold that thought, because I'm about to reveal the fourth sign that you're more attractive than you realize. It's not about your looks or your bank account. It's about something far more powerful, being a person whose opinions are valued by others. Now you might be thinking, my opinions? What do they have to do with attraction? Well, my friend, everything. You see, when people seek out your thoughts, when they lean in to hear what you have to say, it's a clear sign that you possess something incredibly appealing: wisdom. This isn't just about spouting facts or showing off your knowledge. It's about sharing insights that come from years of living, learning, and experiencing. It's about offering a perspective that can only be gained through time. And let me tell you, that's something that younger women find incredibly attractive. Think back to a recent social gathering. Did someone ask for your advice on a work situation, or maybe a younger colleague sought your opinion on a personal matter? These moments aren't just casual conversations. They're signs that people value your wisdom, that they see you as someone worth listening to. You see, in a world of constant noise and fleeting opinions, a man who can offer thoughtful, experienced insights stands out. You're not just another voice in the crowd. You're a trusted confidant, a source of valuable perspective. And that, my friend, is magnetic. But here's the thing. This attractiveness isn't just about what you say. It's about how you say it. It's the confidence in your tone, the way you balance seriousness with a touch of humor. It's the ability to share your thoughts without dominating the conversation, to offer wisdom without preaching. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but I don't want to come across as a know-it-all. And you're right to be cautious. The key here is not to force your opinions on others, but to share them when asked, to offer your insights in a way that adds value to the conversation. Remember, your life experiences have given you a unique lens through which to view the world. Maybe you've navigated career changes, weathered financial storms, or learned to balance personal and professional life. These experiences shape your opinions, giving them depth and nuance that younger individuals often find fascinating. And here's a little secret. When you start recognizing the value of your own opinions, it changes how you interact in social settings. You become more confident, more engaged. Instead of feeling out of place, you start to see yourself as someone who can contribute meaningfully to any conversation. This shift in perspective is incredibly appealing, especially to younger women. They're drawn to men who can offer guidance, share wisdom, and provide a steady perspective in an often chaotic world. Your opinions become a bridge, connecting your world of experience with their world of fresh energy and new ideas. So the next time you're in a social setting, pay attention to how people react when you speak. Do they lean in? Do they ask follow-up questions? Do they seek your opinion on other matters? These are all signs that your wisdom is not just recognized, but valued and sought after. And here's the real kicker. As you start to embrace this aspect of your attractiveness, you'll find that it enhances all areas of your life. Your confidence grows, your social interactions become more rewarding, and you start to see yourself in a whole new light. How to channel all this will be explained in the next chapter. You're not just an older man in a young crowd. You're a source of valuable insights, a wellspring of wisdom that others want to tap into. And that, my friend, is incredibly attractive at any age. Let's talk about a misconception that's been floating around for far too long. You've probably heard it before, the idea that older men just can't connect with younger generations, that somehow we're out of touch, stuck in our ways, unable to bridge that generational gap. Well, I'm here to tell you that's a load of nonsense. In fact, this brings us to our fifth sign that you're more attractive than you think: your ability to engage in authentic, emotionally connected social interactions. Now, you might be wondering, what does that even mean? Well, it's simpler than it sounds, and chances are you're already doing it without realizing. You have already shown your openness to young lifestyles by being here and engaging with the most modern way of self-growth. Think back to your last meaningful conversation. Maybe it was with a colleague, a friend, or even a stranger at a coffee shop. Did you find yourself truly listening, not just waiting for your turn to speak? Were you able to empathize with their perspective, even if it was different from your own? That's what I'm talking about. You see, as we age, we develop a depth that's hard to come by in youth. We've lived through more experiences, weathered more storms, and come out the other side with a greater understanding of the human condition. This gives us a unique ability to connect on a deeper level. Now, I know what you're thinking, but doesn't everyone connect with others? Sure, to some extent, but there's a difference between surface-level chit-chat and genuine, emotionally connected interactions. And let me tell you, that difference is like night and day when it comes to attraction. When you engage with someone authentically, you're not just exchanging words. You're sharing a part of yourself and inviting them to do the same. You're creating a space where people feel seen, heard, and understood. And in a world where everyone's constantly distracted by their phones or caught up in their own thoughts, that kind of presence is magnetic. Think about it. When was the last time someone gave you their full, undivided attention? When someone really listened to what you had to say and responded thoughtfully? It feels good, doesn't it? That's the power of authentic connection, and it's a power you possess. But here's where it gets really interesting. This ability to connect doesn't just make you attractive in the moment. It creates a lasting impression. People remember how you made them feel long after they've forgotten what you said. And if you can make someone feel valued, understood, and genuinely connected, they'll be drawn to you time and time again. Now, I'm not saying you need to have deep, philosophical conversations with everyone you meet. Sometimes, authentic connection is as simple as making eye contact and really listening when someone speaks. It's about being present in the moment, rather than letting your mind wander to what you're going to say next. But here's the real kicker. This skill isn't just attractive to younger women. It's attractive to everyone. In a world that's increasingly disconnected, someone who can forge genuine connections stands out like a beacon in the night. And here's something else to consider. This ability to connect doesn't just bridge the gap between generations. It can create meaningful relationships across all sorts of boundaries, age, background, culture. When you can connect authentically, you're not just an older man talking to a younger woman. You're two human beings sharing a moment of genuine understanding. So, how do you cultivate this skill? Well, the good news is, you've probably already got a head start. Life experience naturally lends itself to deeper empathy and understanding, but there are ways to enhance it further. Practice active listening. Really focus on what the other person is saying, rather than formulating your response. Show genuine interest in their thoughts and feelings. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable yourself. Sharing your own experiences can open the door to deeper connections. Before we get to the most important sign, remember, it's not about impressing someone with your wit or knowledge. It's about creating a space where both of you feel comfortable being yourselves. That kind of authenticity is rare, and it's incredibly attractive. Well, now, let's talk about something that might hit close to home. You've heard of the midlife crisis, right? That stereotypical image of an older man desperately clinging to his youth, maybe buying a sports car or chasing after women half his age. It's a cliche that's been played out in movies and TV shows for years, and it's done a real number on how people perceive older men. But here's the thing, that stereotype couldn't be further from the truth for most of us. In fact, it brings us to our final sign that you're more attractive than you think. Maintaining a mature and balanced lifestyle. Now, I know what you're thinking. A balanced lifestyle? How is that attractive? Well, let me tell you, it's more appealing than you might realize, especially to younger women. You see, a balanced life isn't just about managing your time effectively. It's about nurturing every aspect of your existence, your work, your hobbies, your health, and your relationships. It's about knowing when to push yourself and when to relax. It's about having a sense of purpose, but also knowing how to enjoy the simple pleasures of life. Think about it. When was the last time you felt truly content with where you are in life? Maybe it was when you finished a challenging project at work, then celebrated by cooking a nice meal for yourself. Or perhaps it was after a good workout, when you sat down to read a book you've been meaning to get to. These moments of balance, where different parts of your life come together harmoniously, they're not just satisfying for you, they're incredibly attractive to others. Why? Because they reflect wisdom, stability, and self-awareness. These are qualities that come with age and experience, qualities that many younger women find irresistible. When you have a balanced life, you're showing that you've figured out what's truly important. You're not frantically chasing after the next big thing or trying to prove yourself to everyone around you. You're comfortable in your own skin, and that my friend, is magnetic. But here's where it gets really interesting. This balance doesn't just make you attractive. It makes you interesting. You're not just a one-dimensional character focused solely on your career or your hobbies. You're a well-rounded individual with diverse interests and experiences. You can talk about your work, sure, but you can also discuss that book you're reading, or that new recipe you tried, or that hiking trail you discovered last weekend. This well-roundedness is particularly appealing to younger women. They're often drawn to men who can introduce them to new experiences, who can offer a different perspective on life. And when you have a balanced lifestyle, you become that man. Now, I'm not saying you need to have everything figured out. Life is a journey, after all, but it's about striving for that balance, about making conscious choices to nurture different aspects of your life. It's about showing that you're not just surviving, but thriving. Think about how this plays out in real life. When you're on a date, you're not constantly checking your work emails or stressing about deadlines. You're present in the moment, able to give your full attention to the person you're with. When you talk about your week, you're not just recounting hours spent at the office. You're sharing stories about the cooking class you took, or the volunteer work you did, or the progress you're making on that home improvement project. This balanced approach to life is attractive because it represents a man who is not only responsible and reliable, but also interesting and multidimensional. You're showing that you can handle your responsibilities while still making time for personal growth and enjoyment. And let me tell you, that's a rare and valuable combination. But here's the real kicker. Embracing this balanced lifestyle doesn't just make you more attractive to others. It leads to greater personal fulfillment and confidence. When you feel good about your life, when you're satisfied with how you're spending your time and energy, it shows. You carry yourself differently. You interact with others more confidently. And that confidence, it's like a magnet. So how do you cultivate this balanced lifestyle? Start by taking stock of your life. Are you giving enough attention to your health, your relationships, your personal interests? If not, make small changes. Maybe it's setting aside time each week for a hobby you love. Maybe it's committing to regular exercise or meditation. Maybe it's making more effort to stay in touch with friends and family. Now, let's recap the 6 signs we've covered. From the power of your gaze to your balanced lifestyle, these traits showcase the unique advantages of being an older man. You've got wisdom, depth, and a growth mindset that's incredibly attractive, especially to younger women. It's time to recognize and nurture these qualities. They're not just about making you more appealing in the dating world. They're about enhancing your overall life satisfaction. When you embrace your authentic self, confidence naturally follows. So here's my challenge to you. See yourself in a new light. Appreciate the value of your life experiences. Approach dating not as someone trying to prove themselves, but as a man who knows his worth. You've got a lot to offer, my friend. It's time to show the world and yourself just how attractive you truly are.